friends, I am Kanchan from Akulmek Technologies and you are welcome to Top Brass. Today we have Siddesh Srivastava, who is a corporate communicator. He has been teaching IT professionals and marketing professionals. He has a deep interest in corporate training. A part of this, he has his own show coming up and on various radio channels. So I would not waste any single minute and would like to welcome Siddesh Srivastava. So Siddesh, welcome to the show, and how are you doing today?
Hey Kanchan, hi, good day to you and victory for the magnificent day talking to you once again. Let us start.
Yeah, great. As you know that we are discussing about communication, correct? And it is sad.
Yes.
It is sad that communication is like 20% you know and 80% what you feel about your knowledge or what you know. How you would like to react on this?
Yes, so Kanchan, as we were discussing yesterday and sometimes even before, the non-verbal part, as I believe, and I truly believe that non-verbal communication is the heart of any message or any communication that has to suffice, that has to balance the spoken word. But many a times we don't use the spoken word, but we pass on the messages. And who better knows that than a mother? Most of the time, the mothers have to stare at the child to make them understand what is not correct. And the children understand that non-verbal communication. So we discuss so many things, but I think that there is more and more polishing needed in our communication that is unsaid, but it still has its clues in our physical appearance, in our silent communication, in our communication through action, touch, or symbols. Right?
So yes, definitely that plays a vital role when we are communicating, and that that reflects in an effective communication. But can you also discuss that how appearance impact communication?
So Kanchan, appearance is something that we actually do not have much control of. First, because of the structure of our body temple, where we cannot do any alteration. It is as it is. So it has to be taken as is on a face value basis. But on top of that body temple, the appearance is our facial expression, our posture, our word being said with the intent of the intensity of the eyes looking towards the person, towards the crowd whom we are supposed to talk, and dress appropriately for the occasion. That constitutes more or less the physical appearance part. Whether it is a corporate leader or a political leader, or we as an educator, because our dress, our uniform, or our attire, the right word attire, actually conveys a message to the people whom we are going to talk to. So physical appearance is all about our outer cover, the wrapping around us in terms of clothes, in terms of our expression, in terms of our smile, in terms of frown, in terms of anger in the eyes, and there could be other parameters as well. What do you say?
Yes, you are definitely right, but I also want to add that positivity in the gesture, in the mind frame is also very important when it comes to communication and communicating positively to others. That gives more profound impression and that makes other people happy, isn't it?
That's right. That's right. And you know, the positivity in a communication is something that invariably everyone tries to do it, you know. uh, Whether we are even we are passing on a negative news, we try to be as much as positive as possible, through our appearances, uh, through our postures, through our gestures. But sometimes in a critical situation, a message, a communication has to be done for the sake of the gravity of the situation at hand. And if that requires a certain seriousness in the tone, certain seriousness on the facial value, certain seriousness in our standing posture or sitting posture, including our throat, tonal balances, it should be done, because that gives out the effective communication intended to that particular recipient or the recipient group. That is my thinking. And therefore I have not generally come across a policeman behaving in a very, very gentle, manly way, the way a corporate manager would behave. I hope you agree.
Yes, definitely. It's a very good example you have quoted. And I also want to add in this that when a candidate goes for the interview, so the set of positivity ideas, the set of positive ideas are very essential. Because if candidate uh, uh, thinks that, oh, it's a very difficult interview and I'm not able to clear it, and then when he starts communication, that reflects in his attitude and the way he's communicating. And I think 50% of chances of him getting selected is cut the moment he starts with a negative thought.
That's right. That's right. The moment for an interview, somebody enters the room, the body language, the physical appearance, the hygiene part of it, the cleanliness part of it, in fact, even the perfume part of it, it all makes a difference. It all makes an appearance, a total cut out image of the person. And that is something which may not be needed to be oriented just before an interview. What we have been talking, Kanchan, that we can inculcate these things in the pre-college days, in the secondary schools, for example. And all of that aspect, in fact, there is a new name for this kind of a small industry which has picked up recent years, called image building.
Yes.
And image counselors
Right.
to do all of these things. But that is more or more concentrated on the celebrity kind of people and some of the top corporate guys. How you appear in public, how you appear to your people, it's all, you know, made out to convey the right kind of message. So yes, it is important. The physical appearance is important. And not to forget, physical appearance also includes a very important part, the health, the inner health of somebody, the person who is going to receive the communication or who is going to communicate with us. If he is healthy or she is healthy, it reflects on the brightness or the shine on the face. And the effect that they bring in their body language, the health plays a very important part. I
Yes,
think
definitely. Yes, definitely. You have raised
some of the things.
yes, you have raised a very interesting point of image building. And in the recent years, I have come across many HR companies. They have a separate department of image consultancy so that they can groom the candidate. And then after doing a series of training, then they send these candidates to different companies. So it's kind of in thing, and communication are being as a subject is taken very seriously nowadays, because I've seen many engineer and many computer technicians. They are very good in their hard skills, but when it comes to interview or talking to overseas clients, it is a hindrance, and sometimes company do lose the contract.
That's right.
So
But I
I
must
So I feel that it is a time that communication has to be taken seriously. Maybe it should come as a not a soft skill but a hard skill. What do you say?
Yeah, I think it should be taken seriously, but making it as a hard skill is something that I will leave up to the organizations and the geographies that they operate in. And I must tell you one experience that I got in Japan. So while working for a global telecom company in Tokyo. Uh, Working with a lot of Japanese people around on the floor and some of the Swedish people on the floor and then the Indians. So you see three different kinds of people, three different cultures, three different rich cultures working in a corporate environment. Now, we Indians generally, we speak clear English, the Queen's English, and communicators in that sense uh, from many of our Asian counterparts. And so I asked one of the Japanese managers that on the floor of so many Japanese people, only a handful of them are able to communicate in the international language, which is English. So, and so it becomes tough to operate. It becomes tough to conduct the business. And therefore I was expecting some kind of answer that I was ready to listen to. Yeah, it is tough to learn and all that. But what I got an answer actually made me surprised. The Japanese manager, senior guy, he told me, on this floor of 200 people, only 3 or 4 people are basically the sales guys or the business development guys who need to go out in the market and who need to basically make a pitch for the company, meet the customers. So they are the people who are being taught international language English. So in India, we have never thought English as an international language. But in Japan, Japanese is their national language and English is an international language. So he said only those 3 or 4 sales guys, business development guys need to go out. They need to learn the English, the international language, the mannerisms, and the physical as per the international norms or the conventions. But my other of the engineers who are purely hardware guys, they don't need to know it. They just need to develop or design and create a product. So that's a different cultural aspect as well that I saw. So when we talk about physical appearance, as I have been insisting, it always depends on the cultural baseline of that particular geography, and it is dictated by it. And there cannot be a universal, there is never a universal way of a physical appearance or any kind of non-verbal, because that changes based on the culture that we live in. And culture has its, if we not take the very ancient history, at least it has an influence of probably last 100 or 150 years in the making.
Yes, definitely. And we have discussed about image consultancy and image making with communication, which plays a vital role. And we'll be discussing ahead more about communication in our future programs. So for today, I will say bye-bye. It was always pleasure to talk to you, Siddesh. So see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Kanchan.
With this extended topic.
Yeah, thank you. And I leave the listeners and viewers with this thought that image consulting or image building is not anymore a job that is required for a celebrity. It is required for all of us, me, you, and everybody. And the more earlier we do it, the more winning character we will imbibe and build. Thank you.
Definitely, and it's a good advice for our viewers. So till tomorrow, bye-bye. Take care.
Bye-bye. Take care. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.